Okay, so as I was saying, I'd like to get a little bit of audience participation in the chat and see if we can do a little bit of brainstorming, because the topic, one of the topics that I want to talk about today is going to be how to use groups and how to manage groups and how to use groups in searching in the wizard and how to use groups in searching in reports, because they're really quite powerful, and I want to make sure that people are utilizing them right from day one as soon as they're starting to create tracking links and putting in destinations. So has everyone, is there anyone who's on the call who hasn't even started with Trackerly yet, hasn't created any destinations? Should we go over a bit of an overview of just the very basics before we get on to the topic of the day? Yes, please, from Tracy. Okay, that's good enough for me. One is enough. So the idea with Trackerly at the very basics is that you put in every destination that you want to send people in, be it an affiliate link or your website or a PDF or whatever you want to send people to. You put that in once, and then you create tracking links that go to that destination, and you create as many tracking links as you want of any type going to that single destination. And then it tracks each tracking link. It tracks each tracking link individually, and it tracks each destination individually. And no matter how many times you edit things or do split tests or whatever, it always has an accurate count on each tracker and each destination. So that makes it quite different from any other tracking program, and among many other things that make it quite different. And when you're creating if I go over here and hit Add Destination, the first thing you need to do is put in a reference name. So let's say I want to send people over to, let's see, where do I want to send people? I usually use search engines, but I've already put in a few search engines, but I think I've never sent anyone to Alta. Is Alta Vista still around? That goes over to search.yahoo.com. That's funny. All right, so let's put in that, search.yahoo.com. If I was doing internet marketing and I was in a bunch of different niches, I might select a niche. I usually just ignore this, but for some people that would be very valuable for being searched later. They can just say, show me everything in the ad feed on TV niche, and it will bring up everything in that niche. So that can be very useful. And I put that in the wrong place. That's the reference name. So, and everyone can see the screen? So here's where I can start putting in groups, and I can put in as many groups as I want. And what I'd like to do right now is have some brainstorming on types of groups that people could put in, because there's certain things that are obvious. Like if this was an affiliate link, I would put in, it's an affiliate link, and then that instantly creates the group affiliate link because it didn't exist before. If it's something that I've already got, like I can just go and select it, and then that makes sure I don't put in groups multiple times and have different variations. But what other type of groups might you come up with in your marketing to group things together so you can say, show me all of my pay-per-click ads, show me all of my Project X ads, or Project X links, or is there anything else? Amazon sales. Right. So for instance, they could be on a specific site. So it's an affiliate link, but it's also an Amazon link. I could have each different affiliate network that I send traffic to in here. So I could then say later on when I do a search, I could say, show me all my affiliate links, or I could say, just show me the ones from going to Amazon and ClickBank, or just show me the ones going to, something else, whatever other ones you're using. So you can narrow it down and drill into your marketing that way. Any other ideas on other ways we might create groups? Like I was saying, pay-per-click doesn't really work here, because pay-per-click would be something you put on a tracking link. This is a destination. You could be sending things to the destination through any number of ways, but pay-per-click is how you buy traffic, so that would go on a tracking link. So it's things about destinations. Anything else? Anyone? There's only social sites. So it makes sense if if this destination is a social site, then putting in social sites works. Since it's not, it's a search engine, because the destination is a search engine. I'm going to put in search engine to keep that. So I can show me all my destinations that are search engines, and then it would come up. Client sites, right? So I could put on client sites, and then I could say which client. So this is, John Styles, and I can just put in. Oh, I gotta fix the CSS on that. Good thing I noticed that. So you can do things like that. So I can say later on when I'm doing a search, I can say, show me all my client sites, and it will show me all of them. Or I can say, just show me the ones that are for John Styles. So that's the sort of idea behind the groups, and it's really quite powerful. And I'm hoping that people will really start to use them, because it comes up in all sorts of different places within the interface of Trackerly for narrowing down things. So I'm gonna save this. Oh, you know what else I put in this group? Testing. This is a testing link. So I'm gonna save that, and then I can start creating tracking links to it. So yes, David, I will repeat that. So let's say I'm going to go and create a tracking link now, and let's say it's a pay-per-click link. Now, for a pay-per-click link, I don't need it to be a branded SEO link, because who cares? No one's going to actually see the link, right? So I may as well just make a generic short link, because then I don't need to worry about anything. It's just it's on a very fast server. It's tied in directly with our service. It's whatever. I don't need to worry about setting up a domain or anything like that, because it's pay-per-click link. Nobody actually sees the URL ever. So I'm going to create a short link, and I'm going to say, this is going to be the ads that I'm going to put up on Google. So this is going to be Google Ads number 17. I don't know. And I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to say that it is a paid ad. And so this thing here this is the first use type. And I love the idea of, sorry, just take a sip of water here, of being able to have a different tracker for each time I put out an ad. So instead of using the same, and I can do this too, I can do either, it doesn't matter. But instead of using the same tracking link, the same redirect link over and over and over again every time I put out an ad, it doesn't take that long to go and create a new one. So that way I can track that individual one. I can say, okay, I'm going to use this here, but it might go other places because other people use the link and it spreads, and then I can sort of see how it spreads. And because I can see everything together, I can see all my tracking links for this destination at once, or I can see just the ones I put out in email, or just the ones that I use offline, and then I can compare them. I can really learn about my marketing that way. So since we're going to make a pay-per-click ad, I'm going to just put it in the paid ad category, and then I can say it's going to be a Google one, and then I can further refine it there. So again, I've got my custom groups. So now, because this is a tracking link, I can say it's a pay-per-click ad. So I can say PPC, because that makes sense, because that's where I'm putting it. I'm not putting it in. I don't want to put PPC in my destination link, because the destination could have all sorts of ways that I'm sending traffic to it. I could be sending traffic through an email link. I could be sending it through pay-per-click. I could be sending it through an ad that I put on the side of a bus, right? So I don't want to put groups like pay-per-click on my destination. I want to put them on my tracking links that go to the destination. Yes, they are totally. So Kevin just asked the question: are tracking and destination groups separate entities? And they are. There's two separate lists. So, for instance, I put in into the tracking link. What did I put in? I put in John Styles, I think. So it doesn't come up as one that already exists because it's a separate link. So here, I probably want to put in some other information. So again, brainstorming, what other types of groups might I come up with for my tracking links that are very separate from my destination. So it's about how am I sending traffic to this destination. So that later I can say, show me all the things that are similar. So if I actually did put it on a bus ad, I might actually create something like a bus ad as a type, or a business card or whatever. So yeah, it's your link types. John Stiles said keywords, and that's an interesting thought. Can you expand on that a little bit, John? What you're thinking with that? I guess you're thinking, like, if it's pay-per-click ad, which keywords you are putting in, and I guess that does make sense. One of the things that we're going to be doing is, and this is okay. So that's what you meant. So you could do that. I would imagine that could get kind of time-consuming to put that down there, but it would be something you could certainly do. What we're going to be doing is having it so that when you do things like Google Ads or Yahoo Ads, then you can pass the keyword in, that it will save the keyword, and that's coming. That'll be in there for the launch for sure. And so all those variables that you can pass through a pay-per-click ad, you'll be able to save them and then say, show me all the things in this keyword or that group or something. But yeah, so putting a keyword group could make a lot of sense. So I don't know. So I'll just put a keyword group in as an example as opposed to an actual keyword group. So things like that are all about the tracker, about the way you're sending information over to your destination, so that later on you can show me everything that's in this group of keywords, show me everything that's in pay-per-click, and you might want to say it's a Google ad network. So you can then say, show me all the pay-per-clicks. I'll show you all the pay-per-clicks, and then you can show me the Google ones, just show me the Yahoo ones, just show me the wherever else you're doing your pay-per-click. Yeah, and John, yes, John is saying that the difference between a profitable campaign or not is knowing which keywords are generating sales, and we're going to make that much easier than having to put them in as groups. Putting them into groups would be quite time-consuming. We'll just have it so it passes it over from Google. We save it, and then it shows you just like any other report, and you can see a graph of each keyword, a graph of your conversions on keywords. All that is coming. So we'll make that much easier than using groups. So I don't know if keyword group would be appropriate. You can always remove them by just clicking X. And here's something else I would do. If it's a Google ad, I might consider pasting my Google ad text in here or something like that, just so I have it as reference. And then that creates my ad, my link. And then I'm going to go back out of this. So that exists. It created my link. I can click it and see that it works. And now I'm going to go back in here and take a look at how we can use groups in different ways. So let's say I want to manage my destination, and I want to, and you see, there it is already. That's the link I just created. It shows one click on one tracker. And I'm just going to pause for a second and take a look at this question. Yes. Okay, so the question John is asking, he says there are many ad networks. Would you be able to pass the data from any network? And yes, if they pass data, it will work. Basically, what we're going to do is on the tracker, you'll be able to set up a variable and say this variable is a keyword. So whatever it is, if the variable is K for keyword, you'll say that's a keyword, and then it'll save it in the keyword spot in Trackerly. So we'll have variables for different types, and we'll talk about variables in a in a few different webinars because there's quite a bit on variables, so that'll be coming soon. But there's tutorials up there currently. Saving variables isn't working yet, but it will be coming eventually, not horribly long from now. So over here, there's this group filter button. And if I click on here, it shows me all of the different groups that I've made up. So you can see, here's the ones we just put in, project name. And you'll see here, I've got like 2 that are the same. And we'll deal with that and fix that in a minute just to show you how. So if I want to go over here and say, okay, show me all the ones with that in it, and there it is, it brings it up. So it's a really quick way in the wizard, whenever you have to deal with a destination or a tracker and you're trying to find something, just click on the group filter and you can do a search here. So let's say I want tutorials, and then I could say, oh, here are my different tutorials. I can go to all of them, and then it'll bring up all the tutorials I've ever made. Or I can pick a specific one. And it shows you how many tutorials, because I'm looking at destinations right now, how many destinations are in each tutorial group and how many visits each one of them, each group has had. So all tutorials have had 1,045 visits. The super affiliates had only 39. You know, so that's a very quick way of seeing what's going on and finding something. So, you know, I want to go to the affiliate tutorials. Oh, that's the one I want to edit, and then I can go and manage that destination. So that's one way to use groups. And while I'm in the wizard, I'll show you that thing about managing groups, and then we'll take a look at groups in the reports. So if I scroll down to lists of things over here, I've got rename merge tracker groups and rename merge destination groups. So that was a destination group where I saw that problem. So let's go and fix that. So I'm going to search for test. And I'm not even pressing enter, by the way. That's just a real-time search. And I'm just going to select them both. And you'll see that the thing here changed from, if one is selected, it says edit group name. But if 2 are selected, I can merge them. And I'll just merge them into that one, or I could type in a new group name over here. If I unselected that, I could give it a new name. But I'm just going to select that, save, and now there's only the one. So because groups are very important, we want to make it very easy to quickly manage them and keep it from getting, you know, all messed up. So it's pretty easy to make sure you use the same ones over and over again. But if you do make a mistake, you can just merge them like that, and you can merge 3 or 4, however many you need. Now hold on a second. I see some questions here. So, okay, I'll get to David. I'll get to your question after I finish going over the group stuff, and then we'll get on to more general questions. So the other thing I guess that covers that. So if I then go over here and I've got my reports, and I have these filters up here, these blue things over here. And there's a couple of them over here. So for some reason, this is a bug we need to fix. I'm going to refresh the screen. Sometimes the tooltips don't show up. And if they aren't showing up, usually refresh. There they are. So there's my tooltips. So I've got my tracker groups and my destination groups over here. So I can filter by those. So I bring that up, and I've got the same things. I can say, show me all my affiliate tutorials, or you know, and I can select multiple ones. So I just want to see my affiliate tutorials and click apply. And then I can see here I've got my results of all my affiliate tutorials, and there they are. I can look at the traffic and whatever. So that's the other way to use groups, is I can really quickly see the results of anything in a group. So, you know, instead of affiliate tutorials, I might want to see, you know, all tutorials. Again, it's a lot easier if I just type in tutorials, and there's all my tutorials, and I can bring it up. So that makes it really easy. If you can imagine that I want to see all my pay-per-click ads or all my Google pay-per-click ads, you know, I can look at the big picture or narrow it down by putting in lots of groups. So that kind of covers everything in groups. Does anyone have any questions related to groups before we go on to other questions?
I'm just going to interject into the webinar this extra bit of footage because I forgot to show something that's really quite important and very cool about groups. And that is that you can compare all of the traffic going to any group to all of the traffic going to another group for any time period. So, for example, we were talking about having reports that are grouped, where all the trackers in a single report are grouped so that you can bring them all up at one shot, which is great. And then we can also compare all the traffic from one report to another report. So in my example, actually in my real life example, I've done exactly this with tutorials. So I've got all of my tutorials grouped in a group called tutorials. But I also have my newbie tutorials grouped in newbie tutorials, affiliate tutorials, and super affiliate tutorials in that group. So I've got 3 types of tutorials, which could be like 3 reports, or 3 projects, or 3 clients, and I've got all of them also in a super group, which is tutorials, which could also be, you know, all my clients or all my affiliate links or all my whatever. So it's a great way. So I can see, okay, show me it all, and there's it all, and I'll just hide these so it makes it more visible. So here's all my tutorials. So if you had, for instance, all of your affiliate links in a group called affiliate links, and then had each type of affiliate link, so ClickBank as one, some other, I can't think of any others at the moment, but whatever different types of affiliate networks you use, each affiliate network in its own group, and then a super group of all of them. It's the same thing. So here we have tutorials as my super group, and then I've got, here's my newbie ones, I'll add them in, and they're graphed. I can see that they're getting the bulk of that traffic, and I can then go to affiliate tutorials and graph that, and my super affiliate tutorials and graph that. And then I can change my timeline or whatever and see, you know, how much traffic each subgroup is doing, and then combined I have them all on tutorials. So that's a really powerful way of seeing how much traffic something is doing. So if I did have 3 reports out there instead of it being tutorials, and so you have these 3 PDF reports, and every single link in one report is grouped under report number 1, and every single link in another report is grouped under report number 2, and the third report all grouped under report number 3, but all the links in report number 1, 2, and 3 are also grouped under just reports. And that would be the exact same thing you're looking at here. So I can see, oh look, you know, here's when I published these, and I can see they start here, they grew, and they fell, and they grew again, and you know, and I can get an idea of what's going on with each of those reports and how long that traffic lasted, how much traffic is sent overall to all the links in the report. So, very powerful feature of groups, and another thing that definitely needed to be included in this webinar, but I forgot to put in. And now back to the webinar. Thanks.
Okay, does that sound useful and helpful, and like it'll make a big difference in being able to manage your marketing? It's always nice to get the feedback. Oh yeah, thank you, Kevin. Anyone else? You know, I wanted to make sure that we went through that, so we can have like a tutorial up on, or this webinar up on groups is one of the first things that people go through. Can you import or export groups or keywords in CSV? Not currently, but we can certainly add that. We don't have exporting capabilities in there yet, but that's not a big thing. We had exporting in our previous version, and I will put that in as a feature request. I'm just making note of it right now. Now with importing, with importing, that is something that we do plan on having. It's not even discussed in the sales page or anything as a coming feature, but there's a few things like that that we plan on having because it really can be quite useful. So, but I wonder about importing groups. We'll have to discuss that. Maybe John, afterwards we can have an email discussion about that and see how that would work and what the benefit would be, and then we can figure out how we can implement that. Thank you, John. And with PDF reports, yeah, again, let's talk about that offline, and we'll see how we can implement that and what's needed. We certainly will be having reports coming out, and we'll look at how we can customize those to make them more and more valuable to you. So, yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay, so on to general questions. I have let's see, there's somebody sent me a question by email. I'm just seeing if that person's, that's Chris. And Chris Allen, you are on the chat. Good. Okay, so Chris sent me a question, and his question was how we could use Trackerly to monitor press releases and PDF distribution containing links back to my website. And I think in general, so by the way, we are now in the Q&A portion of our call, and then we'll get on to what we're working on, what's coming up portion of the call. So the way to do that is pretty easy. Just any kind of link you put into into a PDF, any kind of tracking link you put into a PDF, you'll see show up, which gives you an idea of your distribution. So one of the groups that you would want to create when you're creating your PDF is by grouping all of the destinations, not all of the destinations, all of the tracking links that you put into your PDF, give it a group of that PDF. So, have a group that's named PDF dash the name of your PDF or something like that. And then you can click on that group. So you go over here, over your tracker groups, and you select the one that's the PDF, and it would show you here's everything that's going on in that PDF, all in one shot. So that's another way to use tracker groups. So every time you put a PDF out there, you create a new set of tracking links, and you use those specific tracking links for that PDF. And then you can show me all my PDFs ever, and it'll show you all your PDF reports. Or you can have another group that is each individual PDF, and then you can show me just what's going on with that specific one. So that's another excellent way of using groups. And with press releases, that's a little bit possibly more challenging. I guess as each press release, you put in the same sort of thing. You put in an individual tracking link, and then you can see where that tracking link gets spread from that press release. So yeah, it's basically the same thing. So I think that's the most basic usage of Trackerly. It's just using those groups so that you can see, every press release would have a tracking group, but that wouldn't go in destinations. That would go in your tracker groups, not in your destination groups. So yeah. And then let's see, someone else had a question. David, you're asking, can I review the basic concept? How does this work if I'm marketing a local realtor, for example, or is it best used for IM affiliate marketing, etc.? The goal of this is to eventually be useful for anybody marketing anything. So yes, it would be good if you're marketing a local realtor. And it's the same thing, the same answer, because that's really getting down to the basic usage is whatever you're wanting to promote, you put in as a destination. So that might be the website of the realtor. And then you create tracking links so that you can figure out which marketing you're putting out there is working best. And if you're doing any kind of paid click advertising, then it becomes even better because it doesn't matter, again, what the tracking link looks like. It can be just a short link, but it gives you all that power to track it and see which ads are working. And later on, you can start saying, okay, show me this. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Close that. So you can click on different things, say graph that and graph that, and you can compare. I'll just hide all this other stuff so it'll show up. So you can see, in a specific time period, which one is doing what traffic. So I think it would be good for basically anyone with a website. But right now, it has a lot of extra tools for affiliate marketing, and it will have a lot of extra tools for pay-per-click advertising and network marketing and stuff like that. So if you're doing sort of stuff like that, the more advanced plans, which everyone here has anyway, have a lot more value. But for someone doing real estate or something like that, the most basic plan might be enough if they're not doing the more advanced network marketing stuff. Got a couple of questions here. David is asking, does Trackly do a 301 or a 302 redirect? And that we could do a whole call on. And let's see, it's yeah, we'll probably save that for another call. But it does both. It does either 301 or 302. And I will do a whole webinar on the benefits of each, why use the 301, why use the 302. There's a lot of confusion about that, a lot of misinformation out there on the web, so we'll do a whole webinar on that. Tracy says, if you were an Amazon seller, can you use your software to track direct sales from Amazon? Example, your Amazon products page to end consumers. If you were an Amazon seller, can you use your software to track direct sales from Amazon? Example, your Amazon product page to end consumers. Tracy, I don't know the answer to that question yet because I'd need to understand the question better as I'm not an Amazon seller. Let's go over that online and we'll put a help article up on it with whatever the answer is. We'll figure that out together, okay? Maybe you can send me a quick email with that question at help@trackly.com. David, does the Google Analytics on the money site show where the original traffic comes from or from Trackly? Google Analytics will show where the original traffic came from. The entire internet runs off of redirect links, and like even when you click on a Google result, like not even an ad but actual result, everything goes through a tracking link so that they can track what you click on. So if tracking links like that, redirect links, didn't give the right information, the whole internet would break down. So yeah, David, you're fine. Chris, with press releases, could the tracking link tell me where it is coming from, i.e. where the press release is being read? Yes, there is a whole section over here called traffic sources, refers, and it will tell you. There's a couple of things to know about traffic sources, and that is if you publish something on an HTTP site and send it to an HTTPS site with the secure, no traffic source will be shown. And that's not a function of Trackly, that's just a function of the internet. So there's nothing we can do with that. So it's important to make sure you have it on the same thing if you want your refers to show up. So if you are publishing on an HTTP site, you want to send people to an HTTP site. And if you're sending people on an HTTPS site, you want to send people to an HTTPS site. So you just got to make sure your links are correct. And that's a good reason to go and get a cheap or free SSL certificate just so you can have HTTPS on your sites as well so that you can get refers. If anyone's got any more questions on that, I can follow up on that. Okay. So are there any other questions at the moment? Because if there aren't, I'll tell you what we're working on next. Okay, I'm not seeing any. So if there are, we'll come back to questions in a moment. And there's a couple things that, like this is brand new. And I've just started using it myself because I'm promoting Trackly and I've got affiliates going through it and whatnot. And when you start using software, you see all the things that you want to improve. And if you're seeing things that you would like to see improved, please let me know, because chances are we'll improve them. One of the things that I realized that I really didn't like, and I remember when we were designing this, and my programmer said, "Are you sure we don't need a managed tracker link, a managed trackers link here that would show list off all the trackers?" I'm saying, no, why do we need that? Because they're all related to your destination. And I realized that yes, we absolutely need a managed trackers trackers link. So we'll have one of those coming soon, where there'll be a button beside these guys that shows you all of your trackers, how much traffic is on each tracker, has all the ability to sort through them and then manage them straight from there. Another thing that I realized is that a lot of the time it's kind of a pain to go through this process of adding a destination and then adding a tracker when all you really want is a single tracker, or your first tracker. So we're going to have a quick add option that will go and combine it. So you'll put in the information once, and then it'll create a tracker automatically or create the destination automatically with the same reference name as the tracker and stuff like that. So that'll make it a little bit quicker for people who want to rush through it. A bunch of other changes coming that are all listed off in the blog. If we go over to the blog for a second. And by the way, if you're not watching the blog, I am posting quite regularly about what's going on, because I want to make it really easy for you to know what's going on. So over here, I've listed off most of the things that are happening, and there's a bunch of other little bug fixes as well. So these won't be happening all by next week, or might not even start by the next time we're having a webinar, because we've got a few affiliate things to get done, and we're finishing off the upgrading for GoTryThis clients. But let me talk about that, because that's what we're doing. Right now, we're working on getting all of the GoTryThis 2 hosted clients being able to upgrade, and we've got it now. It looked like before that we were going to have to do it manually, but we've got it down so you just go through our setup box, and just like adding any other domain, except it'll take a little bit longer because it's going to also import your links. So that's great. I don't have to do it. You can do it yourself. You don't have to send in your FTP information or anything. You'll be able to do it yourself, and hopefully that'll be running early next week. It's almost done now. And then for GoTryThis 1 clients, what I'm thinking of doing, and I'd love to get your feedback on this, is giving GoTryThis 1 clients a GoTryThis 2 hosted account, and having all of the legacy stats moved over to there so they can upgrade to GoTryThis 2, but it will be just for legacy stats. They won't actually have any new stats moved into there. And then they can then upgrade to upgrade to Trackerly by just adding it into Trackerly. So they just have to add the domain twice, basically. Add it once into GoTryThis, and then add it again into Trackerly, and that'll be the complete upgrade process for GoTryThis 1 people. So hopefully that'll make it really, really easy for people, and we can get people going sooner and doing it themselves instead of us having to do it for them. So if they have 100 domains to move over, they can just go ahead and do it. So I hope that makes you all happy. So that's what we're working on this week, and then the beginning of next week we'll finish off that, and then we're going to start working on some affiliate stuff for setting up commissions, and then we're going to start working on this big chunk of changes, which will include finishing off the framed pages and the preloading pages. That was done, but we just had a few extra things we want to add to it based on feedback. Bunch of other little changes. So you take a look through that list on your own. It's a bunch of cool stuff happening. And if you see something else that you think we should add in there, please let me know. Just scroll down and add a comment over here. Good, Tracy. Yes, saying it's a good idea about adding the domain twice. Good. I like that. Because I figure like with GoTryThis 1 client, they've got all their legacy stats in like one separate dashboard for every single installation. So they can have all their legacy stats in one place. But yeah, it means going through the install twice. So what, that takes like 5 minutes or whatever it takes. So hopefully it won't be a big deal. Okay, so I got a few more questions here. I'm just scrolling up. David, you're asking, is this an update from previous software? I think so, and if we are previous customers, we save money. Yes, David, it is an upgrade, and when you sign up, if you put in the email we've got on file for your previous account with Go Try This, then it will adjust your rate. So it'll recognize your email right away when you go to Trackerly/join, and it will ask you to log in with your previous information, and that will access your discount. So there you go. I wanted to make sure my previous clients had a no-brainer for upgrading, so you've got a discount for quite a while. John, checkout pages are generally HTTPS to track sales and conversions. HTTPS tracking would be needed to do that. Not actually, no. Just for refers. The problem with HTTPS and HTTP is there's only a problem when it comes to refers, and this is internet-wide. It's not specific to Trackerly. And the issue there is that the refer doesn't get passed if you're going from one to the other. And it does get passed if you're staying within the same type of either HTTP or HTTPS. So that won't actually stop sales and conversion tracking from working. Sales and conversion tracking, when we add that, will work just fine, no matter what kind of redirect link you have. Anything else? Okay, good. Glad you're happy. So I think that covers everything that I wanted to cover on this call. And what I'm trying to do is keep each call down to basically a single topic. So this one was on groups. We're done groups, and I can refer to people to this webinar from now on for that. And I'll figure out what we're going to cover next week and let you know. And I'll try and let you know in advance every week what we're going to cover. And yeah, if there's no more questions, I'm going to call that the end of the meeting. All right. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate you coming on, doing a little brainstorming with me. And yeah, if you have any questions, or for those people I said I'd follow up with, please shoot me a quick email at help@trackerly.com, and we'll figure out how we can add on importing and PDF reports and whatever else we talked about. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Bye.